Welcome to the Exhibit A podcast.
Welcome to Exhibit A. Today we are going to try to have our program on Zoom. And I have my very special tech lady with me, Ida. Ida, how are you today?
Hi, Don. I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good, good. So we've been at this for about a week as far as our remote office, and I was very surprised that we were able to get up to speed so quickly. And I think it's because of a couple of things. One of them is that we've got you in the office, our tech lady, somebody who's got complete confidence in how to use these gadgets, such as Zoom, which is what we're on right now. And plus, I think that we just have a really solid team, and everybody works really well together, and they're motivated. There wasn't any problems of having to convince people that we needed to do this. So it's pretty cool. How are you and the family?
You know, we're doing really good. And I got to say, Don, with all my tech equipment, this is my moment to shine. I have a really good home office set up. So it was really easy for me to transition straight to work here. My kids are home. I have two young ones, and their schools are both shut down, but you know, we have a little schedule for them, so they keep busy, and I just have my time in front of my computer so I can work.
Yeah. So you and I have just this common thing. I think that you more than me, probably. I think that you're more in love with technology than me, but I'm pretty close to you and stuff. And I really enjoy talking to you, and you know, you and I experiment a lot within the office on how to do stuff. Makes me feel young, I guess. You know, and I'm thinking, you know, in your house, you probably have so many gadgets. It's kind of like a James Bond movie. You know, if I were to visit you, there'd probably be some secret stuff in there that, you know, I don't even know about. So you're homeschooling, it seems like right now. Is that what's going on?
I am.
Okay. Well, you joined the millions of other people, parents that are across America right now that are in this unfortunate circumstance where schools are shut down, and you're having to juggle both your work responsibilities and home responsibilities.
Right.
But thank God for technology.
Exactly.
We're figuring out how to do it, right?
Exactly. I was going to say my kids have to do their schoolwork on a Chromebook, which luckily they got as Christmas presents, so that worked out well. So they also have to be sitting in front of a computer and doing the lessons that their teachers have put together for them. It just works since everybody's just in front of a computer.
Okay, awesome. So what I'd like you to do, if possible, is to run us through some of the things that our viewers should know about our office and how we're able to operate remotely. I know that, you know, you had talked about in our last podcast that you and I did some of these programs, but they're much more meaningful now. And then there's a couple of things that I know we didn't talk about, like Zoom and Teams and things like that. So why don't you go through the list? You sent me a little list, and let's start off with a court call for appearances.
Sure. So Don, right now, this is the best tool that we have in order to make appearances. I know the courts are closing their doors to non-essential individuals, but what the court clerks are allowing us to do is use this program called Court Call, which allows us to call in, dial in our unique code, and appear in front of the judge telephonically, and allows us to extend that opportunity to our clients as well. It's a great tool. So you are appearing, you're just appearing telephonically, and Court Call is a program that allows us to do that.
So in my opinion, that's good. We've always had it. I'm wondering though, Court Call has its own features that could slow things down, I would think. I mean, isn't it true that you have to call the company first and then schedule, and they don't do things instantaneously? You have to do them well in advance.
Most definitely. It does require pre-planning, which I think right now they're loosening the requirements for the timeline given the circumstances, but previously, before the current situation, we would have to call in at least 3 days before, request approval from the court clerk, and then call Court Call and set it up. There was, and I'm sure there still is, a monetary fee associated with it, as it is a service, but it differs between attorneys and witnesses. So it does still require us to call them and schedule it, but that's what us paralegals do. So it's nothing new to us, and it's very easy for us to just jump back in and make sure that all those calls are scheduled and calendared properly.
Okay. Well, I would think that the courts would hopefully speak with the officials at court call and say, hey, we're in a national crisis and everybody needs to pitch in, and let's see if we can make this a little bit more easier as far as getting in and stuff. One of the things that I've been very impressed this week is another program I've mentioned it 2 or 3 times, Zoom, which is what we're using right now.
Right.
And for those of you people out there who like to invest, you might want to join me in investing in this because right now it seems like it's the big fad. Everybody's using it. I've attended 2 or 3 board meetings this week with it. I've had training sessions with our staff. I'm sure that we're going to be using it a real lot. I'm wondering, if the court could use that eventually. It would seem that it would make sense.
I've had to use this all across. It's funny, I hadn't even heard of Zoom prior to last week. And now I'm doing my kids' extracurricular classes using Zoom. We're doing office meetings using Zoom, friend-to-friend meetings with Zoom. So yeah, it's for someone who hadn't previously used it, it's very easy to jump into it, but unfortunately with every technology, there comes the issue with bandwidth and making sure that the internet is capable of taking care of it. Because sometimes, we may glitch out, and that may cause a little problem. But I still think it's an excellent resource, and maybe that is the future.
Yeah, it's interesting that you say that about the bandwidth, because in my office, if I'm using my camera on my desktop, I can't use Zoom, I can't use Skype, I can't use Teams.
Right.
But for some reason on my iPad and my phone, I could use that. So you think that has to do with the bandwidth?
It could be. There's a lot of, I know with our current situation with a lot of people remoting in, the internet is trying to accommodate to so many people. So it may be the issue. See, one of the things that I know I had discussed with the office staff is, if you can, hardwire your equipment. And the reason for that is you'll get these promotions from your internet company saying speeds up to X amount of whatever. But the truth is that's the hardwire number. The Wi-Fi is up to, so you're not guaranteed that number with your Wi-Fi. And it's just, on a day-to-day, it doesn't necessarily show as a real complication, but when you need your internet to be working hard, you definitely need to be hardwired in. It's the best way.
Yeah, the reason why I just mentioned this is not to get too much into our internal workings, but for our viewers, our audience out there, if you're going to use Zoom and you're having difficulty on your desktop, you may want to just try doing it on your iPad like I did, because it was working fine. I've used it all week on my iPad, and it's great. So there are other programs. Well, let's talk about Zoom. What are some of the features that Zoom does for us?
So, for starters, look at us. We're having a meeting, and we're able to record this meeting. We're able to showcase it to others. This is a great feature. Our office, we have meetings with using Zoom, and it allows multiple individuals to be on the same window. I know some classes, colleges are using this program, and it's great because you get to see everybody on a single page. And I think that's a unique feature that not a lot of programs previously may have done as well. But Zoom is really taking the lead on this one, I think.
Yeah. Have you fiddled around with some of the, I can't imagine you not fiddling around with it. Do you know that it can give us backgrounds? Let's say somebody says, look, man, I'm embarrassed, man. My house isn't really kept up very nicely right now. The kids have been running around, and, I don't want to show the interior of my house. Is there something we could do about that?
I'll be honest with you. I haven't fooled around with the backgrounds. Again, I'm only 1 week into it, but that's really cool. I didn't know that feature exists.
Yeah, I wonder if I touched mine, if I could do something. Because one of our attorneys, Anthony, yesterday was being Anthony, and he clicked on, and then Brooke, our other attorney, was able to, there's a virtual background. So I guess I could go like here.
Would you look at that? You traveled.
Yeah, so it's not exactly where I want to be right now, but I thought we'd show that to our viewers. So you could also apparently take photographs and then make them part of your virtual background. So, excuse me, I didn't know that. Am I still in San Francisco on your side?
You're still San Francisco on my side.
Okay, let's see if I could change that. I don't want to scare people to think that I'm taking a trip or something here. Beautiful. I like it. And what it does in a way is it keeps a degree of privacy,
Sure.
and at the same time, it makes it a little bit fun. I think during maybe some office meetings, we could have different types of backgrounds and be more creative with that. So So Zoom is one that does that. You could also have webinars on it. There's a lot of different features that the other programs don't have, and that's why I think that stock is going to go up there, really high. And I know that my wife and I are really interested in this program. Okay, let's talk about Teams. What is Teams?
So Teams is an add-on to Microsoft. It's an internal communication that we can use. It does have the ability to communicate with the outside world, but right now our office is using it as a primary tool to keep in touch with everybody. So even though we don't have the face-to-face contact that we were so used to, we have the ability to have quick questions answered by just typing in on this instant messenger app, excuse me. So it's an instant messenger application, which allows us to have immediate communication, and you don't have to constantly pick up the phone, and just a quick message here and there, checking in, following up. It's a great tool. It's made our lives very easy, and it's made it seamless.
Yeah, but I'm going to scold you a little bit here, though. Apparently, you and your staff has used Teams for a while without telling me.
That's not true. I sent out a message letting you know.
Okay, well, there I go. I didn't read my email. So anyways, I really just learned about Teams. I think I saw it when it first came out, when our IT company came and installed it. I saw it. I didn't know what it was, and I thought, come on. But when I needed it this week, it was really impressive. And I can tell you that what I love is it's different than Zoom. Zoom is, I think, really good for outside world. We could take depositions with Zoom. We could possibly someday make court appearances. We could definitely do mediation. It allows you to get into different rooms. So you could put, one party and their attorney in one room, and then you get the mediator going back and forth. So it's very versatile, right? And
right.
You can invite people by simply sending an email to them. Now, Teams seems like it's an internal thing that's really good at. And like you said, it's a lot easier to get a hold of people just by pushing a button. And, I've got Ida, and, your screen comes up. I found this to be true too. I don't know about you, but when I'm speaking face-to-face by a screen, it's a much better conversation than over the phone. When we have the phone conference, I don't know what it is, but it's just a real natural conversation. Do you feel the same way?
I do. I think it's just the face-to-face interaction that people, need. I mean, this is the time that shows us more than ever how much people just want to see one another. So yeah. I do agree.
Yeah, and what's also interesting is that opposed to a phone conference, when we have multiple images there, when to speak and when not to speak, because it's highlighting the speaker, and you could wait your turn. Where on the phone, people want to get in and they don't know that the other person's talking and stuff, and so it makes it a much more meaningful conversation.
Right.
And then with Teams, the other thing that I didn't know about it, I was really opposed to adding one more device to my life. We've got all these crazy things, like you got your emails, you got your texting, you got all this stuff, the messenger for Facebook. I didn't need anything else in my life. So when I saw that you could do this thing with Teams, I'm like, that's just more complication. But what I've actually found is that for an office like ours, you could really get business done a lot quicker and easier without having to prepare formal emails and stuff. So that's a very good feature. Would you agree?
I do. I definitely do. I think for more informal communications between, for example, between the paralegals, we just make quick messages, quick reminders, and you're right. I think it takes away the formality of drafting an email. So it's just a quick message, and you're not texting, you're not moving to a different device. It's on your desktop, and that really makes it easier just to get a quick question and answer going with Microsoft Teams.
And again, like Zoom, you could create little chat rooms and stuff. So, we've got various divisions within our firm. We've got the paralegals, the attorneys, we've got the support staff, and then the attorney teams, for their clients and everything. And you could break it down so the communications are just in that segment. Right. I thought it was funny the other day that you saw the attorneys chatting while they were watching a webinar, and you asked them politely to please move to another room.
No. If you have a certain topic that you're discussing that nobody else is interested in, you just move it to a private chat room, and it's kind of the new etiquette of communication that we're trying to get used to.
We got Teams etiquette apparently. Okay, so we talked about those two very, very good programs. Let's talk about GoToMeeting, because it's still there and it's still a very important thing. What is GoToMeeting?
Oh, so GoToMeeting does have the audio-visual component to it too. However, we're primarily using it for a group of, like, it's a teleconference program that we're using for a group of individuals to just dial in. So it's kind of going back, and you're not necessarily having to use a computer. You just use your own cell phone, dial in a code, and now you're communicating with up to, I don't know, 250 people or so. You can set up a GoToMeeting for up to 250 people.
I didn't know that you could do that visually. That's the video part of it.
Yeah, so when we first started figuring out which program would be best, we had some people say, oh, I'm logged in using the web interface. And you can do that. If someone's using their computer to be communicating, you can do that. But again, the benefit of using GoToMeeting is it takes us back to the good old fashioned dialing into a phone number. And some people need that. You know, our clients have different technical skills and we want to accommodate to them. So GoToMeeting offers that benefit to them.
Yeah, and I think also helps us in business type of calls. Just a couple of days ago, we had 5 people. You know, we had an opposing attorney, we had an expert, we had another attorney that was going to possibly help both parties in the case. We had both parties and then multiple attorneys in my office. So we had a bunch of people on it, and it's really, there was no need to have the video. It didn't seem like it, at least. And, you know, you don't know if other people have the capabilities for that or desire, but nobody could deny a phone call, right? So, I mean, GoToMeeting is still an essential thing, and we're using that a lot still.
Right.
Yeah. I think that talking to a forensic accountant with our client, talking to a vocational counselor, or any of our experts that we want to conference in, it makes it easier because now I don't have to call you anymore and say, Ida, could you make us happen, join us all on our phone call and make it a big production? People would just dial in, and that's a really nice thing that we're using.
Yeah,
okay.
Great feature.
And you put on your list some of the things about electronic filings, fax filings. Could you talk about that?
So fax filing, so I'm not sure how many of our clients are aware of this, but the courthouses are not letting non-essential personnel walk in, but it doesn't mean they're not taking in filings. So for those who say, oh, I need to have this filed, we do have the option of utilizing our fax machine to do fax filing. The court allows fax documents in, and the process, we've had this prior to this current situation. So what it allows us to do is fax in the documents. The court will then process it and return a conformed fax cover page back to us. So it's like filing it, but using the fax machine. So
yeah, and then so people should know that the courts are still open somewhat. I mean, slightly, but for emergencies and definitely for filing. So we still have the capability, and every day it seems like that we're still filing something with the Superior Court. It's just that it's done in a little different way. So you talk about fax filings, but there's also electronic filings as well. Talk about that, please.
So electronic filings are not currently for the Los Angeles Superior Court Family Law Division, but you know, we handle probate matters with Allie's cases, and I use electronic filing for her documents, and all I have to do with Allie's filings is just upload the document to a program. We use OneLegal, and the court will process it within the required time, and we have a filed document. And we've been doing that for almost 2 years now, I believe. And
yeah.
Some other counties, like Orange County, is doing electronic filing as well. So it makes it a lot simpler for me to just file documents in Orange County using OneLegal as well.
Yeah. And then you have on your list that the fact that we can still take depositions. Now, with this virus, we're not supposed to get within 6 feet of each other. And some people want to say, I don't even want to be in the same building or room with you, even when there's not a virus. But since there's a virus, and now I have an excuse. So what can we do with regard to that?
So one of our vendors that we use, Heinz Reporters, recently sent out an email letting us know that they are utilizing programs like Zoom to conduct the depositions. And again, it allows for the court reporter to be on the same computer screen, typing up their notes while a deposition is taking place, very much like this.
Right, right. And so no excuses then. So, we're going to be telling our opposing counsels that, look, if you don't want to come into the office, which we could understand under the circumstances, we wouldn't want you in the office, but we want to take the deposition. We could do it just by the same program we're on right now with Zoom.
Exactly.
Okay. And you had talked about also about clients that are fearful of not being able to sign documents. Okay. Now, they might, definitely they don't want to come into the office because who knows who's in the office. I could tell people right now that I'm really the only person in the office. Everybody else is virtual. But
Right.
But if somebody wanted to sign a document, or we needed to have like an income and expense declaration, or have them sign their declaration, how do you go about doing that?
So it's great that we have DocuSign. This is a program we've previously discussed, but it bears re-mentioning. It's an online digital platform which allows a client to either sign or adopt a signature and sign a document without leaving the comfort of their own cell phone. So we are in constant communication with our clients when they need to sign a document. They review and revise drafts with us almost in real time, basically. And then when we finalize the document, we send it over to them using this program, DocuSign, and it allows them to sign the document digitally and return it back to us. It's an excellent feature. Again, nobody's leaving the comfort of their house or even walking away from their phone. It's just easily accessible, and they can sign and return it to us within moments.
Okay. And how are you using Dropbox in this time of crisis? How does that help us?
Dropbox has always been a feature, has always been a service that we've used. Again, whenever we have large documents that we need to go back and forth with clients, we use it. Right now, more than ever, with discovery still going on, and we need documents from clients. They can't physically bring it to us, right? Or some definitely don't want to leave their house, and within reason, they're able to just upload the essential documents on to Dropbox and send us a link, which gives us access to the same documents. And it's a great feature, and it's shining right now.
So I guess in summary, what the folks should know is that the wheels of justice haven't completely stopped. There's been a slowdown with the courts, and of course, law offices have had to adjust. But really, our phone is still ringing. We're still talking to the opposing counsels. People are still in need. Our clients are still calling us, and with all this technology, really, we're operating just like we were before. Correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So, well, that's good. I think that's a good summary. Can you think of anything else that our viewers or our audience might want to know or hear about what we're doing in our office right now to make it easy for them?
Sure. Don, first and foremost, I don't think any of this would be as seamless if we didn't have such an outstanding, so many outstanding individuals working with us. Everybody is just so helpful, so accommodating at this time. It's great. We're constantly communicating with one another. Except for the fact that we don't see each other, we're always within a click away with one another. And that's what makes all of this so much more easier to transition to.
Yeah. I like I said at our office meeting, I feel very fortunate that we're still able to help people and really work. And my heart is out to all of the folks out there that have had to close down their businesses, all the employees that are on unemployment or they're applying for unemployment. It's just a god awful thing, and we're very grateful that we're able to help folks. This podcast by no means is intended to show off or anything like that. We want to let people know that we care about them. We're there for them, and we're open. So, call us when you need us and stuff. But I'm glad that, we're still the team that we are. Yeah. So, okay. Well, you did great again. I can't wait for you to come on the next time with the latest inventions. Like I said, I'm talking to the Miss Doctor in Technology, and you're great as always. So take care, and thank you for joining us on Exhibit A.
Of course, thank you.
For more information, visit us at PasadenaLawOffice.com.